Today we're visiting the most haunting holiday crime in American history, the Lawson Family Massacre. It was Christmas Day 1929, and before the sun could even set on that day, 7 poor souls were violently evicted from this world by the very man meant to protect them. Today's case takes us to rural North Carolina, and fair warning, it's deeply unsettling and very, very far removed from any kind of Christmas cheer. The Lawson family lived in Stokes County, North Carolina. They were tobacco farmers, not wealthy but stable, church-going, known in the community, not any kind of troublemakers. The head of the household was Charles Davis Lawson, age 43, and then his wife, Fannie Lawson, who was 37, and together they had 7 children. Arthur, 16, Marie, 17, Carrie, 12, Mabel, 7, James, 4, Raymond, 2, and a little infant, baby Mary Lou, just 4 months old. The weirdness actually started a few days before Christmas even began. Charles would do something very unusual. He spent a significant amount of money that he did not have, dressing the entire family up in new clothing. They went on a little shopping spree and then took them into town for a professional photo shoot. It really wasn't anything that a family of this economic status would even plan or think of doing just for the fun of it. But Charles explained it all away as a Christmas surprise. But it wasn't the surprise that the family were expecting. Nope. That one would come later. And in the image, they all stand neatly arranged in their new finery, entirely unaware of the horror that was waiting for them in just a few short days. So let us now step in to that morning of December 25th. It was Christmas Day, and maybe the worst Christmas day in criminal history. The day started as any other Christmas. Fannie, the mother, was in the kitchen baking her famous Christmas raisin cake. The younger children were playing around nearby. The house probably smelled of sugar, flour, and familial warmth. During all these Christmas preparations, Charles sent his eldest son off out on an errand. So far, so peaceful. But he was just starting to put his evil plan into motion. And what was that evil plan, you may ask? And I will tell you. Taking his shotgun, he would go on and systematically deny the lives of his family one by one. First, Charles went into hiding inside one of their tobacco barns and waited with his shotgun ready. From there, he shot Carrie and Mabel as they were returning from visiting their uncle. But after brutally sending them into dear departure, he thought the shotgun just wasn't enough. So he decided to also bludgeon the poor sisters, and then quickly he hid them inside of said tobacco barn before moving on to the next step. in his plan. After that, he continued on, and he found his wife Fannie sitting on the porch peeling potatoes, and he dispatched her with just one shot straight to her chest. And then he quickly went into their home and ambushed the remaining children inside. First, he found his eldest daughter Marie, and she was apparently sitting in front of a fireplace curling her hair, and some sources even say that she was already aware of what was happening and was yelling frantically to her younger siblings to hide. Either way, she was too swiftly denied further participation in the holiday season. And lastly, he found James and Raymond as they were attempting to hide, and in similar fashion departed them both. And once he was done there, he went up to the little crib where infant Mary Lou was laying. A very horrifying fact here was that Charles decided not to shoot little baby Mary Lou, but instead he horrifyingly just bludgeoned her with the blunt end of his shotgun. These poor children just never stood a chance. And once the house had fallen completely silent, the madman Charles went outside into a nearby forest. They would later find footsteps that would reveal that he had been circling a tree and just walking aimlessly around for quite some time before finally ensuring there would be no sequel to this madness by means of sewer slide with his own shotgun. Some sources say that it was neighbors who had heard all this shooting and stuff happening that discovered the grisly scene, while others say that it was actually the sole survivor, the eldest son Arthur, that discovered it all when he returned from his errand. And there, another mystery. Why did he spare Arthur? Maybe Charles was a bit hesitant to have him at home because, Arthur was a large, strong young man and could maybe had stopped Charles in his plan, and to make it all easier, just sent him off. Another eerie factoid for your little brain vault: the family members, when they were found, actually had their arms crossed over their chests, and they had rocks placed under their heads, like, pillows, as if his murdered family were merely resting. So now, the mystery and the question, because this is solved, but still very much unsolved, because we don't know why he would do this. Some say a very sudden mental collapse, possibly linked to a head injury that Charles had suffered months earlier. And then again, others just pointed to some financial stress. Maybe the unstable tobacco market was getting to him. And then there was the rumor. Local gossip said that he had made his own daughter, Marie, pregnant. And this was some kind of open incestuous relationship that even the mother was aware of. Could this have been a reason? Whatever actually broke inside of Charles Lawson that Christmas remains very much unsolved because he never ever proved any kind of or gave us any kind of motive, just a bunch of bodies and rumors. And to make things just a little worse, the massacre became a dark tourist attraction. Yeah. It was Charles' own brother, Marion Lawson, who opened the house up to the public. There, the cake that Fannie had baked on the morning was displayed. And at first, this cake was just there, out in the open, untouched. But they had to put it behind a glass monter eventually because people just kept picking out the raisins as morbid souvenirs. The uncle would just hold tours through the house, guiding people through it, making a spectacle of the rooms where the family's last Christmas unfolded. Even the family photograph was printed in bulk and sold as postcard souvenirs. Yeah. So yeah, the Lawson family didn't just demise in some moment of spontaneous chaos. What are your thoughts and ideas about this whole case? Why did he do it? Why did he send off Charles? And yeah, let me know down below. I would be thrilled to hear your ideas. Thanks to all my Patreon members, to my channel members. It's thanks to you I can keep this channel running. And of course, stay hydrated, stay amazing, but most of all, stay morbid. Mwah! And I'll see you soon.